You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
This guy's not doing well. Trump's library rant sparks fresh health concerns based on an article by Robert Davis. A rambling president is not the problem. The power structure is. The wrong question. The source story centers on David Pakman reacting to Donald Trump's appearance at the opening ceremony for the new Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library. Trump looked winded, stumbled through remarks, veered between Rough Riders history and NATO, and made a bizarre comment about a threesome with his sons. Pakman treated it as a warning sign about Trump's condition. That is not the main political story. It is the safe, individualized version of the story. Power still sits in the office. Trump is not some random spectacle figure. He is the president. That is where the actual institutional power sits in this piece. He was the one speaking, setting the tone, and turning a presidential ceremony into a jumble of ego, grievance, and incoherence. But the deeper power is shared by the people and institutions that keep normalizing this. A presidential library opening is not just a backdrop. It is a legitimacy machine. It gives the office a ceremonial glow even when the man occupying it is visibly struggling to complete a sentence. Misdirection by symptom. The article's frame is too small. It turns a political problem into a health concern. That is convenient because it shifts attention away from decision-making, authority, and consequence. Whether Trump was tired, unfocused, or simply performing badly matters less than the fact that the presidency is being used as a stage for obvious decline and still treated as routine. The commentary lingers on what comes out of his mouth, but the real issue is that the country keeps granting enormous authority to a man whose public performances increasingly read like unraveling. The ceremony was the cover. The Theodore Roosevelt Library event is the kind of ceremonial setting that launders political damage. It invites the press to act like this is normal institutional life, not a stressed and erratic presidency being packaged as continuity. Trump's out-of-breath delivery, the teleprompter struggle, the strange detour into NATO, the incoherent sexual aside about his sons. Those are not isolated quirks. They are symptoms of a political system that has learned to absorb degradation as content. The event was supposed to dignify the office. Instead, it exposed how thin that dignity already is. The real enablers. Trump made the remarks. That part is obvious, but the enabling force is bigger than Trump alone. It is the entire apparatus that keeps treating his behavior as a personality issue rather than an institutional emergency. When analysts obsess over whether he can do this and more, they are circling the edges of the problem. The more important question is why so many actors continue to frame the issue as one man's fatigue, one man's slippage, one man's oddness. That framing protects the system that put him there and keeps him there. The pattern. This is the recurring pattern of American political degradation. Authoritarian power presents itself as spectacle, then the commentary class converts spectacle into a medical sidebar. The office remains intact. The machinery remains intact. The public gets a story about a tired man. That is the trick. Not denial, exactly. Minimization. The country is invited to stare at symptoms while the structure that empowers them stays untouched. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article with the automated voice of LJ. Thanks for listening.